Hello, hello everyone, if you can hear me already. Hello and welcome. Welcome all to our Tilda Getting Started webinar. Before we start, I would like to check the connection and make sure that you can hear me and you can see me well. To do that, I propose you to write something in the chat. The best thing you can write is your country or the city that you're watching us from. It's always very interesting to get to know the geography of our webinars and of our users. So please use the chat next to this YouTube box in order to put your country or your city or your location, maybe your island or planet at least, so that I know that the stream has started and everything goes well and we can get started. Okay, so while I'm waiting for your confirmation, let me introduce myself and give you an overview of what is waiting for us today. So my name is Elizabeth and I'm managing the global content at Tilda. And today I'm very happy to welcome you on this webinar on the basics of Tilda. So today, in 1 hour or 1 hour and a half, depends on how many questions you're going to ask, we're going to have a nice dive into the platform. We're going to see what Tilda can help you with, how to use some basic features of Tilda, how to create a website out of template, how to use and edit blogs, how to edit the content and appearance of your website, and so on. So we'll show you everything inside the Tilda interface. As well as, we'll tell you in general what kind of projects you can make on Tilda and how to set them up so that everything works well for you. All right, so the recording of this webinar will be available on our YouTube channel, as well as for those of you who registered on the website and got the confirmation email, you're going to receive another email with the link to the recording, so make sure you will never lose the link. All right, so I see more people are joining us. For newcomers, hello, and please use the chat next to our YouTube streaming to tell about your location. Where are you located at the moment? It's very interesting for me to know who's watching us. All right, so I see that the connection is good, according to my phone over here, which I will use to monitor your questions. And I think we're ready to start. So let me just check. Yeah, everything is great. And let's start from the presentation. All right, so I have a couple of slides that will help you to understand what Tilda is, and will help me to explain you how you can use it. All right, so what Tilda is, it's a no-code platform that helps you to create websites without the help of developers or designers. So it's something you can do on your own. You can do all kinds of digital projects on Tilda, from online stores, landing pages, blogs, multi-page websites, to online schools and online courses, and so on. How does it actually work? So how do you create a website without developers and designers? It works simply. We have a library, a very big one actually, with more than 500 blocks, which you use to create your website. So what is a block? One block is a kind of a small piece of content organized in a nice layout that you use to tell, to express one message of your website. All right, so what kind of categories there are of these blocks? It can be a cover page, an about us section, title section, image, gallery, menus, dividers, features, columns, and so on. So there are plenty of categories, actually almost 30 categories. And so when you create a website, it works like that. You go into the library, you pick a category that you need for your website, and you choose out of the list of blocks that you can see the right design and the right functionality of the block you want to add. You add this block, then you very easily modify the content and the appearance. Everything is super modifiable, so you can adjust it to your to your design and your goals and so on. And then basically you publish your website. All right. An important thing to bear in mind is that all these blocks that we have in the library are born adaptive, meaning that they will look good on any screen resolution, be it a huge desktop or a very tiny mobile phone. The blocks, they will adapt to the screen. So you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to adjust the mobile version of your website. It's already adjusted for you, all right, by our designers and developers. So let's move forward. Apart from the blocks, there is a big collection of templates on Tilda that you can use to start your website from. All right. So the templates, they're a nice, it's a collection of nice examples of web design. So take it like that. If you're really novice and you don't have a huge experience in web design or website building, you can scroll the template collection, the template library, and actually learn by analyzing how the websites are structured over there. They're divided into 8 categories, which are business websites, online stores, blogs, landing pages for events or product launches, contacts, also online forms, and so on. So depending on the project that you need to create, you can go to the template collection and see what template suits you best, but also how the templates of your category are structured and designed. All right. And then, you can do, you can decide if you want to start your project out of a template. And bear in mind, everything is very flexible in the template because every template is built out of blocks. So you can change the order of the blocks. You can change the blocks themselves. You can delete them or add the new ones. And basically you can mix the templates among themselves. And it's going to be okay for the design because the design was created with the possibility to mix and match all the blocks and all the templates on the platform. All right, but also if you feel confident, you can start from scratch, from the blank page, and then by adding new blocks, create your own page. Then what exactly can you build on Tilda? What is Tilda good for? So first of all is a multi-page websites. These are the typical websites for businesses that usually have a menu on top and several inner pages, say about us, people, our gallery of works, case studies, contacts, and so on, depending on your business. All right, so you create a menu, several inner pages, and you're good to go. Another thing you can build on Tilda, and actually this is a very strong point of Tilda, is landing page, because we have plenty of templates for landing pages. What is a landing page? Well, in brief, it's a one-page website, so there are no inner pages. There can be the menu, but the menu sections will link you to the sections of this one long or short page, the only one that you have. All right, and landing pages are usually used for launching new products or marketing an event and so on. So usually on the landing page there is a call to action button and there is a data collection form. So you collect the data from your visitors. Probably you want to collect or create a mailing list for your newspaper, or you want to sell tickets to the conference. That's when you build landing pages, a very nice marketing tool. And this you can build until they're quite fast, actually. Another thing that you can consider is e-commerce. So Tilda is a good tool for small to middle-size online shops, online stores, online businesses that are selling something. You can use our product catalog that is built in and add up to 5,000 products to this catalog. All right, and then you can manage it very well. You can also connect it to some marketplaces, and the updates will happen simultaneously there as well. Okay. Another thing is online course. Online courses or online schools are possible to build thanks to the members area feature that we have in Tilda, which is also built in. So you can actually limit some parts of your website, some content or some pages to certain people, depending on their login information and depending on their groups that you decide. For example, you have 2 online courses. One is for the beginners and another one is for advanced students. And so you can give different access to different pages or different content to these 2 groups. All right, so people will be able to log in to your website through Tilda, and they can be granted their passwords and logins to use their limited space, their personal accounts on your website. All right, and 2 more things that you can build on Tilda. I'm sorry. So one is a email newsletter. There are special templates and special blocks for email newsletters that will allow you to design a very nice newsletter, and then very nicely and fast and easy, you can connect it to the integrated services, email services. For example, if you're using MailChimp or Sendinblue or SendGrid and so on, you can connect them and send the Tilda designed newsletter to your mailing lists. And also, Tilda is nice for creating blogs because we have a feature that is called Tilda Feeds, which is a feature that simplifies your blogging activities, because you can schedule the blog posts and make it in a way that everything goes very smooth and fast compared to creating by hand every time a new blog post. And if you're working in the media and you're doing some special projects or multimedia stories, you can also design them on Tilda, because we have a lot of media oriented blogs. All right. So this is a rough overview of what you can do on Tilda, what kind of digital projects. Okay, moving on to the editing process. So how do you actually edit the content on Tilda? It goes very intuitively. All right, so if you see the text and if you need to modify it, just inside the layout, you click on the text and a text editor appears. Not a text editor, but just a small, you see here on the slide, just a small toolbar with all the necessary commands that will help you to modify the text. All right, to modify the images, you can just use drag and drop, as you can see on this slide, or upload the picture from our inner library, or upload from your computer, and so on. So it's like, something that goes very naturally, and that's why it saves you a lot of time while editing your content on Tilda. All right. Yeah, and also, of course, everything is going on inside the browser. So Tilda is not an application, you don't need to download it. Everything is done online. It's a cloud-based service. Then moving to the more practical things, as data capture forms. So we spoke a little bit about the landing pages, all right, and the marketing tools that you can use. So here is a slide dedicated to the integrations. On Tilda, you have more than 20 integrated services. What are these services? They are CRM services, all right? So we have a HubSpot, for example, integration, and some other popular services, as well as we have our own built-in Tilda CRM that you can also use for your projects absolutely for free, with a very intuitive interface as well. Apart from that, we have an integration with a bunch of email services, all right? But this we already mentioned for the newsletters. And also you can set up your forms in a way that all the submissions will be sent to your email, to your Telegram account, to your to a Trello desk, to the Trello board, or to the Google Sheets, and so on. So all the submissions will be organized automatically in a way that you have a very easy access to the information that has been sent to you by your visitors. by the way, if you have any questions during my talk, please, I will be very happy to read them out from here, from the comments, okay, on YouTube. So I will make several times pauses and answer your questions. So please don't hesitate and write your questions over here. And I see the first question actually. Let me read. I'm interested in using Tilda for building sites for clients. All right. What is the process of designing and creating websites and then handing off to the client in Tilda? Okay, so the process of design we're gonna cover today during this webinar. So let me just finish with the main features, and then we'll go into the interface and we'll see how you actually design the page. As for the second part of your question regarding the handing it off to the clients, so there are two ways you can hand off the website that you have created on Tilda. One way is if your client has a Tilda subscription, you can transfer your website to their account, and they can keep managing and keep supporting the website inside their account. Or you can also export the source code and transfer it to their server if it exists already. But for this you will have to use the business plan. Okay, so if you're using a business plan and building your websites for the customers, you can easily export the source code and use it in any other server. All right, so I hope I was able to answer your question. If not, please keep writing, and I will keep talking about the zero block. So zero block is one of a feature that we are really proud of, because it's a web design editor built into the platform. It looks like another block in the library, but when you click on it, you end up on an artboard that looks like something in between Figma and Photoshop, if you have ever used one of them. So it's a web design editor that gives you all the freedom of web designing. You can actually move the elements around the artboard as you want. You can add as many as you want. You can also do the manual adaptation to different screens. If you want, for example, to eliminate one of the objects from the mobile version, not to make it too heavy, you can do that in zero block. You can also set up animation, but this we'll discuss a bit later. All right, and you can use the some of the advanced tools and instruments that will help you in web designing. I'm talking about guides and layers, or even CSS styles you can apply over here, zooming in and out, for example, independently from your browser zoom level, and so on. So it's really a great feature for designers, where you can create your unique blogs or unique websites. Moving forward, another thing is the animation. So we have two types of animation on Tilda. One is the basic animation and one is a step-by-step animation, a bit more advanced animation. So basic animation is available for all the basic blocks, almost all, of course, those blocks that make sense to animate. And it works very intuitively. So you don't need to do any preparations in order to apply basic animation on Tilda. So you don't need to know anything about animation. You can just choose from the drop-down menu the effect that you would like to apply. You can check it right away, and you can decide if you want to keep it or not. So for example, what kind of effects I'm talking about. For example, the cover page and the title on the cover page, it can appear out of zero opacity, or it can appear from down to up, moving a little bit, or your button can change the color on hover. So these kind of things can be animated inside the basic block settings, and they don't require any effort from you. Another type of animation, which is a step-by-step animation, is available on zero blocks. So you can animate elements that you have added in zero block, and out of that you have all the freedom again to create all the animation that you can only imagine. So all these effects that you see in front of your eyes can be done in zero block. All right, so you can, for example, do the interactive animation. If a visitor hovers over your image, a text will appear, or the image will be changed to another one, or some elements will come together on the way that your visitor is scrolling down the page, and so on. So it's like whatever you can imagine, you can almost, of course, I have to add almost, yeah, but almost anything you can imagine, you can implement into in the zero block step-by-step animation. All right. And another nice thing is that mobile animation is also already adaptive. So in other words, you don't need to animate again for the mobile version. Whatever animation you have created will be available for the mobile unless you check out the box and you uncheck the box on zero block settings, and then you will make your website a bit lighter, a bit faster perhaps, and disable animation for mobile. Regarding the statistics and analytics, so to measure the performance of your website, especially if your website is a commercial one or it's a landing page that you really have to keep track of all the traffic that is coming to your website, the geography of this traffic, the sources, and so on, we have built-in statistics on Tilda that is available at any time for the website as well as for every page of your website separately. And if you have an online store, there is another bunch of metrics for the online store statistics. And there you can basically, you can track the sessions, the conversion rate, the sources of the traffic. You can add and track UTM tags, engagement, and all the basic metrics that you can think of that are relevant for the digital marketing today. Apart from that, you can also connect a Google Analytics, Google Tag Manager, and Facebook Pixel with your website. So it's the integration is already there. So within the Tilda interface, you just will have to put your credentials from these services, and you will automatically have the integration connected, and then you can track your website performance on Google Analytics. It can be set up like in minutes. So keep it in mind. We have the built-in statistics and Google Analytics that you can connect to your website. All right. Next, regarding the SEO settings, this is very important for the modern day digital marketing, of course. And the good news is that, first of all, the structure of all the Tilda made websites are made in a way that search engine crawlers or robots, they can very easily index the websites thanks to the block structure, all right? Because the content is organized into blocks, and this is very nice, very good for the crawlers, very easy for them to navigate your code. Apart from the code, it's quite easy and fast to set up the technical SEO inside your Tilda settings. So what you can actually set up, you can set up the title and description. You can add the H1, H2, H3 tags for the headings and alt tags for the images. You can also add the keywords and set up redirects, all kinds of them. Design your own, your custom 404 error page, and you will get auto-generated files such as robots.txt, sitemap, and sitemap store and feeds. It is relevant for the RSS and marketplaces. All right. As well, apart from these settings, you also can use the SEO assistant that will actually check the health of your SEO settings of every page and give you some useful tips, as you can see here on the screenshot. For example, if you forgot to add an H1 tag to the page, you will see the notification over here with the link to the short guide that tells you what is H1 tag, why do you need it, and how to add it. So you can actually check your SEO settings on the go and be sure that everything is set up correctly, or use the tips to improve to improve the settings. I see there is another question. Let me see. All right, so zero block looks really interesting. Great, thank you. I also think so. I saw it in Russian YouTube channel, some really interesting demos, but unfortunately they were in Russian. I know, I know your pain. Are there any advanced resources in English? Well, yeah, we are actually working on it hard. And yeah, we are planning this summer to launch much more content about Tilda, about several, all the basic features, video explainers, video courses, also Tilda Education. We have launched it in English some time ago. I will show you how to get to this resource from your Tilda interface. So yeah, you should be really just have a little bit of patience, and then the English speaking resources will appear very soon, hopefully. All right, so that was the overview of Tilda. And now it's time to dive in, and let's go into the interface and see how you actually use Tilda. All right, hope you're ready. So this is my personal account on Tilda that I use for our webinars, of course. But yeah, that's why there are some pages already. In order to sign up on Tilda, it's very easy. I will skip this stage because yeah, you just need to specify your email, think of a password and your username, and that's it. So after that, you are inside of your personal account over here. All right, and let me explain you how many projects can you have and why some of them are white and this one is green and so on. So over here on my let's say test account for a webinars account, I have a business plan connected to this account, and that's why I can build up to 5 projects and up to 5 newsletters. So the green rectangulars, it means a newsletter, and the white ones, they correspond to the websites. Okay, so let's see the plans. Okay, the pricing plans. I will try to help you to navigate around these 3 pricing plans so that you will have an idea of what suits best your needs, basically. So we have 3 plans, which is one is free, another one is personal, and the third one is business, the one I'm using at the moment. What you can do on the free pricing plan? So you can actually, you can publish the page, you can publish your website on a free account, but you will have some limitations, all right? But the website can be online, can be live. So what are the limitations? You won't be able to use the custom domain, but you will be able to use the Tilda subdomain, which is the URL that will end with the tilda.ws. All right, and the first part is customizable, it's up to you. So another limitation for the free plans is that you won't be able to collect the user information. So you won't be able to use the blocks that are forms and buttons for the payments, as well as the online store blocks. So you won't be able to build an online store over there. But on the free plan, you can really train your web design skills and abilities, and also you can publish a nice simple page with perhaps your portfolio, for example, or upload some pictures or give some video links and so on. So you're gonna have 50 megabyte of storage for the images you want to upload, and 50 inner pages inside of your website. So you can even build a multi-page website on a free plan. All right, then moving to the paid plans. The personal plan includes actually all the features on Tilda. So you have no limitations on that, but you will have one website that you can publish and that you can use a custom domain for. Inside of this website, you're gonna have 500 pages available and 1 gigabyte of storage on the cloud. All right. So here you can use custom domain. You can use all the blocks without any limitations, or build any kind of projects you can think about, or the ones that we have just discussed, and so on. And on the business plan, there are two main differences between personal and business. The first one is on business plan, you can have 5 websites and 5 newsletter projects on top of that, because newsletter projects, that they are not counted into the limits of the pricing plan. All right. So on the personal plan, you can have 1 website plus 1 newsletter. On a business plan, you can have 5 websites with 5 newsletters. All right. To each website of your business plan, you can connect your custom domain, different domain. All right. 500 pages for every website available, and 1 gigabyte of storage as well. And the second big thing about business plan is that you can export your code. So this is, replying to the question, how can I transfer my website to the client? Or, for example, you're doing a multimedia project for a big media project that has already, all the content on their server. So you can build your multimedia project on Tilda and then export it and move it to another server over there. All right. So here are the basic explanation of the plans. Let's get back to the dashboard. Okay, here I have a question. Can we change plan after choosing one? Great question. So after you have chosen one plan, you can absolutely upgrade or downgrade it at any time with the recalculation of money. So for example, if you're moving from the personal plan to the business one, 1 day of personal plan, no, vice versa, 1 day of business plan costs like 2 days of personal plan. So if, for example, you bought 30 days of personal plan and you're gonna move to business one, you're gonna have 15 days of business plan. All right, if this makes sense. Also, important notice, for all the new users of Tilda, we have a 14 days free trial for the personal plan. So you're gonna have access to all the blocks. You can connect your custom domain. You can also design a newsletter. All right. And for 2 weeks, you're going to have it for free. All right. And then you can decide whether to buy the plan. And also, of course, you can decide whether you want to buy a yearly subscription or pay month by month. All right. So let me explain a little bit about the dashboard and how everything is organized. So here is the main dashboard of Tilda. Here on top you have some useful sections. Let me just give you an overview. So CRM is the button that will bring you to the built-in CRM that we spoke about. I will not go there, just not to waste our time. Plans and billing, this is the section where we just came from. Profile is the personal information. Invite friends is the referral program that you may use actually to get 3 days of Tilda plan. It depends on which plan you use and which plan will be bought by your friends, referrals, that you invite to the platform. On the right here, you have a most important button for everyone who just started using Tilda, is a help center. So help center, let me just show you a little bit, is a huge knowledge base that is meant to help you to get the answers to 99% of your questions. All right. So it's organized like that. You can search using the keywords, for example, domain, one of the most popular questions. So domain, and here you have the short answers like that, the pop-ups with the answers, or a bit more detailed instructions like this one, how to connect a domain name, right? And you have 1, 2, 3, several steps. So quite easy to understand, different domain registrars and some screenshots that helps you, that will help you to connect your domain fast and easy. All right, even if you have never heard this word before. All right, so please, I encourage you to use Help Center to find all the answers for questions. Here on the left, we have a menu for the different sections of questions, different topics that you may have questions about. Okay, so zero blocks section, SEO, analytics, and so on. So Help Center. All right. Oh, this is Tilda Education. Just in a moment, I will come back there. So Help Center is here, and over here on the right bottom right corner, you have the widget, this nice orange round widget with the question mark. If you click on it, you are again inside of a help center, right? But organized in a widget like that. And this little orange circle will remain with you throughout all your experience on Tilda. So whether you're setting up your website settings or editing your page, there will be always this little thing on the right that you can use to ask any question you have, or in case you cannot find the answer in the help center, okay, or in case the problem is really about your personal account, please use this button over here, which says send us a message, and that's how you actually connect to our support team, to our support guys, and they will make sure that they will answer all your questions regarding any problem in the world that may happen to you while using Tilda. All right, so this little circle over here, very useful one. Moving to the right, so this is webinars. This is the button that will bring you to the webinar page, and you can register over there and watch me talking about Tilda basics again in 2 weeks. So every 2 weeks we are trying to go live and answer your questions and guide you through the basics of the platform. And this button, guides and articles, it leads to brings you to the Tilda Education. So this is our learning resource, which is very helpful actually if you want to learn more about the digital marketing, web design, or business, especially online business. So here is a nice course on how to build a landing page featured over here, and plenty of guides and articles on all the topics you can think of, like from choosing the right font to improving your website navigation and SEO on Tilda, for example. All right, there is a nice long guide on all the details about the SEO. So Tilda Education is nice for both improving your website on Tilda, but also skilling you up, in the in web design, digital marketing, and online business. All right, so now let's create a website, publish it, and see how the process, actually goes. So to create a new website, you have 2 buttons over here: create new website and start email campaign. All right, so depending on what you need, what kind of project you need to create, you choose the button. I will choose start new website. First of all, we're gonna have to give it a name. Let's say my first online business. Sounds nice. All right, so that's the page of your newly created website. There are no pages yet. To add a new page, you click on this nice orange button over here, create a new page, and it brings you to the template library. Okay, so this is how you actually access our template library, the one with more than 200 different templates you see on many different topics, from veterinary clinics to repair services, drive-in schools, whatever you can think about. We're really trying to help all kind of businesses to have their own templates, also charity, different foundations, and so on. All right, so these are the business templates. This is the blank page, so that's how you start from scratch. If you don't want to use the template but you want to create your own website out of the blocks, you can choose this option. All right, and then you can see different categories. There is a very nice categories of template, which is called Z, meaning that all these templates are built on 0 blocks. And you can start if you feel confident enough If you like challenges, if you're a web designer, you can start from one of these templates and have a more advanced design-oriented website, I would say. All right. So, but for this tutorial, I would rather go for a typical business page website, business page template. This one, okay. So you can preview or create. We want to create a website, so I click create. And I'm inside of the editor. So this is how the page editor looks on Tilda. You can scroll down your template. Okay, so these are the different blocks. You can see how they organized. So to understand when one block, where exactly, where are the borders of the block, you have these lines, okay, that helps you, they help you to understand where one block ends and another one starts, as well as you have this little plus icon. Let's click on it and voila, we are inside of the block library. So this is the place to add new blocks, okay, or to scroll and see what are the options in every category, all right? So for example, you need to add the pricing plans for your services, and you can see there are plenty of different designs for that. Social networks section, for example, as well. How it works, reviews, there are many nice sliders for the customer reviews and testimonials. Online store section that allows you to add a shopping cart, add a payment system, and product cards, organized in different ways with pop-ups and so on. So this is something to really dive into and explore on your own. I will just show you how you add actually another block to the list of blocks that you have already. I'll take this one I have a favorite block on Tilda, which is called before and after image slider. So I just click on it, all right, and it appears right in the place where I clicked on the plus icon. So this block is organized in a way that you add two images inside, and then your visitors can actually move this toggle or this line, how would you call it, left and right to see the before and after, the result of whatever you do with as a business. Okay, so that's how you actually add blocks. How do you delete them? Well, that's easy. When you hover over a block, these control elements on the right allow you to modify it, and on the left as well. So to delete it, okay, this is the button, the typical button, delete button. So I will just click on it because this my favorite block perhaps is not needed for this template. All right. So let me explain how you actually edit the content of your page, the content and appearance of your page, using this cover page block. All right. So what do we see here? We have a background picture and a nice green filter on it. Then we have a title, a subtitle, all right, and a nice animated arrow. If I want to change on top there is a menu. I will just scroll so that it doesn't annoy me while I'm designing the cover. Okay, so if I want to put my company name, I just click once on the text and voila, I'm able to modify it. So let me just my first business. Okay, so here on top, you have the text editor elements that help you to modify your text. For example, if you want to make it italic, bold, underlined, strike through, and so on, whatever you like. You can also insert the link to any word, letter, phrase, or sentence, or paragraph, whatever you want. So you just basically, let me take away this italic. If you want to add the link to the whole sentence, you highlight it, click on insert link button, enter your link. For example, let's do something like this. All right, then you can decide whether open the link in the new tab or not, and you can also style the link, all right, so that the people will recognize this text has a hyperlinked is hyperlinked. Okay, So for example, yeah, you can underline it, but yeah, I'd rather not. If you don't want to underline it, you can choose 0 pixels of the line, color and size, all right? And text color, yeah, I will keep it just white. Or maybe I will do it. No, I'll keep it white, and I will just add a line so that you can see how it looks like. All right, it looks like that. So now we can see that, you know, on hovering over this text, I will be going to where the URL directs me. All right. So in order to save the changes, as you could just see a moment ago, I didn't click on any save button. So in order to change to save the changes that you apply during the editing on the layout, you can just click on any place, on any space next to the box, next to the text box, like that. All right, and it's saved automatically. So don't worry, you won't lose your changes. In case you want to go, you know, backwards and make a step back, you can click on undo button over here on top several times, and voila, yeah, I'm back over here. All right, so company name, if I want to make 2 lines, for example, so my first and last business page, for example. All right, so I modify the text, I click, it's saved. Same thing for the for any other actually text and any other blocks. All right, if I go down here, I want to modify this title over here, subtitle over here. Yeah, it works absolutely the same, quite intuitively. If I want to increase the font size, I can do so. Decrease, line height, align to the left, center, right, whatever you want. All right, so that's how you modify the text on Tilda. Another thing is, apart from modifying the content right inside of the layout, you can click on either settings button over here on the top left, or the content. So the content button is the one that you're gonna use very often to modify other content. For example, if you have buttons, or if you want to modify the background image, you can either drag and drop the image, okay, or you can modify it through the content panel. The settings panel, it helps you to modify the appearance of your blog. All right, so let's start from content panel. So that's how it looks like. And here I can see that I can also add an upper note. So let's say May. All right, May 21. All right, and here I already have 2 buttons. One is to save and keep the panel open, or save and close. Okay, so I click save and close, and here is the upper note. Okay, and once I added this element, I can already, you know, modify it over here. If I want to delete it, I just delete it, click on top, and it's deleted. All right, so for the background, speaking of the background, so here is the image that was used for this background of this cover. I can see your question. We'll just take it in a second. We'll want to, I want to finish my talking about the content panel. All right, so this is the image, and also you have this tab which is called background video. It means that for this kind of cover, you can also, instead of the picture, use the video. All right, so how do you add videos on Tilda? You add it through the links. You never upload videos yourself as a file, because it's going to be very heavy. It's going to slow down your website enormously. So you just upload it via the link to the YouTube video or Vimeo service, or if you have a link to the file, you can add it right here. All right. Then, to modify the picture that you have on the background, you can either, as I said, drag and drop it from your desktop. But if you don't have yet the appropriate pictures for your website, you can search our built-in library. So it's over here, this button, search photos. You click on it and you end up in our library, which is full of the integrated services. So the first one is Unsplash. Unsplash, perhaps many of you should know it if you're doing some web design. If not, I will tell you. So this is a one of the finest collection of free high quality images on the internet with the free license. Okay, so you can use it for your commercial purposes freely. All right, and the images, they don't look like typical stock photos, but they're really nice. Like, for example, if I put business, for example, as a keyword, yeah, you can search and see different kind of images for the with the business keyword. All right, so Unsplash is the one of the source that you can use for the pictures in case you don't have your own ones. All right, you can also search Google Images, and we have two icon libraries. Which first of them, there is one library which is called Tilda Icons. It is our own library that our designers are updating regularly, and it includes like plenty of icons. I think there are around 50 categories, 50 icon sets, that you can actually also, you can download them in SVG format and then change the colors or do whatever you like. It's completely free. It's a free service. If you Google Tilda Icons, you will see it, or you can add icons to your website right here from the interface. All right. Another service for icons is linea.io. Here you also have a nice big image library, icon library. All right, and the last service is Instagram. So this works in a fun way. So you connect your Instagram account to your website, and then you have the access to all the pictures you have on Instagram, and you can basically in one click publish them on your website or use them for your website. So these are the options for the images. Let me just see the question. Can experiment and create your own zero block site templates. So the question is if you as a user can create your own custom zero block template. So actually the answer is yes, because any page that you create on your own, be it it can be built on zero blocks or on basic blocks, you can use it as a template. I wanted to show it to you a bit later, but I will show it now. So here is the more button, and you can go to page settings over here. And in the page settings, in the additional tab, you scroll down and you have this thing, save page as a template. If you choose so, then you can use this page as a template for further projects. So it will be added. There is another category that will be added to your template collection, to your template library, which will be called My Templates. All right. And from there, you can choose your this page as a template and start from it for your further pages. All right. So we have seen the content. All these settings inside of the content panel, they depend on the block, because every block has different functionality, right? Some of the blocks, they have call to action buttons, for example. So if I click on content on this block, I'll have different things, again, different settings. So the text, the button title, and the button link. All right, so quite straightforward, okay? If I click the content here, I will have the item. So the item, it's a way to organize your columns. All right, so you organize them into the cards, as we call them, or items. For each of them, you can choose the title, description, or eliminate them if you don't need them, add an icon or file, a link as well. If you don't need, you just leave it blank. Okay, and you can also turn it off, duplicate, delete, or move up and down. All right, so all these items are organized like that. So each feature card has its own small item card into the content panel. All right, so let's see how the settings panel works. All right, so here are the bunch of settings. I'll just show you the basic ones, okay? So for example, the alignment, all right? So you can change the alignment of your cover, all right? Left, center, right. You can see how it changes here. Then the height, this is something that can raise some question. What is this VH thing? So VH, take it as a percentage of the height of the screen, all right? So if you put here, for example, 50, and I click on save, you see my my cover just shrinks to the 50% of the screen height, all right? And that's how you actually can modify the length or the height of every block. Another cool thing about the cover blocks is the filters. So we have two filters, the start color and the end color. This allows you to create nice gradients, okay? So here you see there is a green filter, as you can see, and you can modify the opacity. If I put, for example, 10 and 40, this will look like that. You see, the text becomes very difficult to read. That's why the filter was applied over here. If I put 50%, it's already better, okay? 70%, yeah, makes it more readable, all right? So to change the color of the filter, here you have the color picker that you can use and see how it changes, all right? Something like that. Let's make it a bit bluish. Yeah, seems a bit strange actually. I like the green more. I don't know about you. Yeah, I'll bring it back. I'll bring it back now. Green was definitely better for this picture. Too much? Yeah, so anyway, you can experiment as much as you want. As you can see, it's a fascinating process that you can really lose your time while doing. The down arrow is this one. You can avoid using it, okay, like that, or you can use it. Why not? This arrow brings you to the next block of the page, and then in the settings panel you have three tabs. One is for typography. So here you can modify everything text related. Font family name is really advanced settings for the text. Background video, you decide if you want to loop it or don't want to loop it, and so on. Aspect ratio as well. And animation here is a basic block, so the animation will be basic, so I don't need to think about the timings, about anything. I'll just choose whatever effect I want from this drop down menu. I'd say, okay, this is for up or title, that we don't have the title. Fading down, okay, I will say zoom in, all right? And animation for the description, I'll put it fading up, for example, right? And let's see how it looks. So to see how it looks, I save it, and then save it and close. And then to test your website, so once you finish the editing and you want to test the website, how does it look without all these control elements, how your visitors will see the page, you need this button, which is called preview, just before the publish button, okay? So before you're ready to publish, but you want to check first. To check, click preview, and voila, up. Have you seen? That was the effects of the basic animation we just applied. Let me reload the page so you see it again, the title and the subtitle. Zoom in for the title and coming from down to up for the subtitle, all right? This is our animated arrow that if I click, it nicely brings me down to the page. Okay, and here, all the effects. This is also a basic effect on hover, you see, for the menu. The active menu item becomes underlined, your logo, the phone number, and so on. The cool thing about the preview as well is that here, down here, you can choose, if you hover over this desktop icon over here, bottom left corner, you can switch between different screen types, or screen resolutions, or different gadgets, and see how your blocks will adapt. We spoke some time ago that all the blocks are born adaptive. So what does it mean exactly? You can check here inside the preview mode. So this is how your template will look like on a tablet. On a tablet in vertical position. Then you can check how it looks like on a tablet with the horizontal position. You see what happens to the menu. Here the menu is just like the one on the desktop version, but if I choose the vertical one, it shrinks like that, and it's a hamburger menu, right? Which works like that, and it all happens on its own. I didn't do anything to design it. All right, so it's pre-designed for me by Tilda designers. So I go back to editing by pressing the button over here. Very nice. Another thing, another trick I would say that I want to show you is how you can switch the blocks within one category. For example, you want to use this block as a cover, but you want to see what other cover designs are there. Perhaps you want to add a button, or perhaps you want to add a logo of your company. So what do? You actually click on this CR01 drop-down menu. So CR01 is the name of this block. And if you click on it, you will be inside of the category. So the category is the cover. As you can see, all the blocks are called cover. And you can see the preview of every block design. And you can basically switch your cover, your existing cover design, to the one that you can see on the picture. Then to keep in mind that here is the toggle that you have to turn on in order to keep the content on switch. So if you switch the blocks and you have it off like that, let me just show you, up, you lose all the content, okay? So you start from scratch. You don't want that, so I do undo. I click here, turn it on, and for example, let me see how my title and subtitle will look in this design. Oh, not a big difference. Okay, so, and like that. All right, that's how you actually, you see, a button appeared, a button with the hover effect. That's how you switch between different blocks within one category. My modest piece of advice for you is that please pay attention to the type of the title and subtitle that you have, not the type, but the length rather. All right, because each design looks good for each type of content. If you have very short title, you don't want to use a cover, with a very small title like that one. Okay, so you really need to underline the title and use something like that. All right, so think about the more functionality, but also the design according to your content. So content first, of course, and then the design. All right, so, and over here, yeah, the elements on the right on each block. Yeah, thank you very much for your comments. I'll just explain what do they mean. So here is a button to duplicate your block. I click and I have another block over here, which I can move, delete, or hide. This is a nice one. So you can hide the block, and when you publish your page, this block will not be shown, will not be live. All right, but inside of the editor, you can always show it again and keep working on it. All right, so it's a nice trick if you want to think about designing a new block, but you're on the halfway of designing it and you need to publish your website again or publish your page, but you don't want this block to show up yet. Okay, so then you can just hide it like that. Here is a drop-down menu with some basic settings like cut, copy, paste, and select. So if you select several blocks, then you can move them. Over here, you see on the left, you have the selection indicator. Okay, that helps you understand which blocks are selected and which ones are not. And then you can either delete them or copy them. So you can move them from one page to another within your project, or you can move them from one project to another one. So if you have several websites within your account, that means you are a business plan subscriber, then you can actually take a bunch of blocks and just copy it to another project and use them over there. All right. So if you copy or move your block and you want to paste it, use this drop down menu again. Here is the button paste. It will be paste just under the block in question, under the block that you use to click this button paste. All right. So then to move the blocks up or down, you use these arrows. You see here, up and down. Pretty straightforward. Okay. So let's say we are ready to publish our page. What do? We press this button, publish. What happens next? Then we need to actually set the address, website address, which will be ending on tilde vs, which means that we did not yet assign a custom domain to this project, and we are granted with the free tilde subdomain address. All right. So you really better fill in this field and add your website address, and don't really, please don't leave it like that, like a project and 1, 2, 3 or whatever numbers you get. So don't skip this step, because it will be very bad for your SEO. First of all right? So the people will not be able to remember your website name, but also the search engine robots and crawlers will not be able to index it nicely. So I would say my first business. Save and continue. And this is when Tilda is publishing your website. And voila, the public link is available. So I click on it and my website is available on this link with the nice animation that we just set up. All right. Yeah, we have duplicated the cover, so it's over here. And all the other blocks available. All right. So that's it. Actually, you have your page live. If you now type in this address into your browser, you're gonna end up on this page because it's live. Okay. So another thing before, let me just delete this block. Before we move to the settings, because I want to show you a bunch of settings and show you how you can assign integrations, how you can connect other services, and what you need to fill in order to make sure your SEO will do great. Just before we move to the settings, I will show you how to add a zero block and how to actually navigate it. Just a little bit, just a very small dive into zero block. So let's say I want to add a zero block right after this block, all right? After the about our company block. So I use this plus icon again. The block library is in front of me, okay, with all its categories. And here is the zero block button, just in the very bottom. I click on it and a zero block will appear. Okay, here we go. So here, instead of the content button, we have the block editor button. Let's use it. And we are inside of the zero block editor. So this looks like an artboard of web design editor. First of all, you can move the height and modify the height of this artboard as you like. You can change the screens and modify also the height for each screen. Okay, so this is the tablet, I guess. And modify also what will be, which elements you want to see in this version of your website and which you don't want to see. Okay, so you can modify the design as much as you want. You can make the letters a bit smaller like that. You can use the grid as well to align your elements nicely. Then when you want to add a new element, you just click on this plus icon on top and you have the list of elements available to add for your to your zero block. So the text, image, shape is the geometrical shape that you can modify as much as you want, like that. And then if I want to make a circle, for example, I click on settings, and here is the settings panel for each of the elements of the zero block. Quite a long list of settings. So you can do many things with this elements. And here is the shape. So rectangle, I click circle and I get a circle. I can move it and change it as I want. If I click shift, click and hold it, as in all modern editors, the aspect ratio will be fixed. All right. So the background image you can also add to your shape, upload an image and then modify it according to the shape. And many other settings. I don't want to take your time by explaining you all of them, because we have a video tutorial on our YouTube channel that you can just check now, or later, which is called Zero Block, how to work with Zero Block on Tilda. And there you will have the very nice explanation of all of these settings and what you can do, and how to add a link to the element, modify its borders, and then basic animation and step-by-step animation. Okay, to close the settings, you can use this button, or there are plenty of shortcuts in Zero Block that will speed up your work. So to open the settings panel, I click tab. To make it smaller as well, I'm using the shortcuts to make the font size smaller. All right, so I can also add a button like that. In the settings, I will change it to caption. Start now, for example, enter. All right, it works. URL, whatever you want. And let me show you just a nice effect on hover, for example. So the background on hover will change to white, and color of the text will become black, and it works right away. Okay, so you can see it. Let me put the something on the background so you can see. For example, I want to make a yellow background, so I'll do it like that. And on hover, you can see right away how your effect is implemented. Okay, so here you go. This is how Zero Block works. There are plenty of things to discover. Check our video tutorial to get to know better the opportunities that are waiting for you in Zero Block. All right, so you can just save it and close it. And here is, it looks like one of the blocks in your template. All right, voila. So let me check your questions. No questions yet. Very good. Let's move to the settings. So I said that after we have published the page, well, actually before we publish, we need to set up a couple of things to be sure that our SEO is good and integrations that we need are correctly implemented and so on. Because, for example, on this template, we have a form, you see, for the visitors, which we invite them to fill out using their full name, phone number, message, and the button. Okay, so how to connect this form to the data collection service? Okay, so where you're gonna collect this data? We have a, let me show you. To come back to your project, you can use this button. Okay, this is a drop-down menu for switching the pages. If you have a bunch of pages inside of one project, inside of one website, you can switch them over here. Here I have only one because I only created one for now, and you can add a new page right away from here. Okay, so let me go back to my project. Now it looks like that because we have already a page that we have just created, and we were talking about the data collection services. So all the integrations and other things are can be modified in site settings. So here is the button over here, site settings. You can access it from the dashboard. Otherwise, if you want to access it directly from your page editor, you click on the page. We are back to the editor, and here on the right there is a more drop-down menu where you have most important settings as well as fonts. Okay, and site settings are also among this list of buttons. Okay, so let's click on it, and here we are. I see a question. Do you also have a hosting in Europe, not just the CDN, but hosting in Europe? Because Now it's only in Russia plus CDN. Yeah, we have a hosting in Germany, and we have several servers across Europe. If this question is related to the data collection and where we host the data, so for the data collection questions, you can decide not to keep the your users' data on the Tilda servers. So you can directly, transfer it to the data collection services that you assign over here inside settings. Okay, and on Tilda servers, this data will not be stored at all. To do this, I will just quickly show you. Here is the leads button that where you have a list of submissions that you receive via the forms of your website. Basically, they are by default, these submissions are saved for 30 days over here. You can see here, you see, leads are stored for 30 days only. In order to set it in a way, no, it's not that, set it in a way that your submissions will not be saved on Tilda servers and will go directly to your data collection services, you go to settings, then you click forms, then you go over here. Wait a second. Yeah, then you connect one of the data collection service, and you choose not to keep the data. Okay, I'll show you just in a second. I wanna go from top to down so that we don't lose anything on the way. But thank you for the question. So is a very important question actually. So on the main settings, you set up the website title. Okay, the one that you're gonna see in your Tilda project, description as well, and the custom subdomain, the one we assign. You can change it anytime after publication as well. But don't forget to republish your page or all the pages inside of your website after you change something inside settings. Okay, it's very important. Otherwise, the changes, if you just say save changes and you have modified your subdomain name, you will have to republish again for the name to be updated. Okay. Then the fonts and colors. This is the tab that allows you to decide which font you want to use as a default for your website. Here we have the integrated library of the very nice fonts that were selected by our designers. Okay, so they are really, you see different kinds and different types of the fonts that you can use for free. So you just click select, and then every time you add a block that contains a text element, your text will be in this font. Okay, and then you can also change it within the block as well. But by default, it's going to be this one, the one you assign in the site settings. Then you can also click this custom settings button and decide which font will be for the heading and which font will be for the body text. Apart from that, you can also use the other fonts from Adobe fonts, Google fonts, or upload your own font using the uploader. Like that, you upload the different styles, files of your font, okay, the name and so on. Or you can put the CSS link to it. So this is an important tab for the fonts and colors. Why colors? Because here as well we have the settings for the default heading font color, body text font color, and so on. All right. Moving forward, the homepage. Homepage is a very easy tab, which you should not neglect. So what you need to do here is just to make sure you have one of the pages assigned as a homepage. So don't leave this space like that. Don't make it not defined. Please assign any of the page, because if your homepage is not defined, your website cannot be published. It will not work properly. So make sure it is defined. By default, your first page, as you can see here, is assigned as a homepage. Okay. Then, if you have any questions on the way, we very often have in the settings this clickable learn more buttons that will lead you to the guides from the help center. Yeah, that will help you understand what you actually have to do here. Okay. And some, yeah, also some tips and notes for you. Okay. Then the domain. The domain tab is a very important tab in case you are using a custom domain. Here you have to specify it. And yeah, please do explore this guide on custom domains, and that will explain you how you actually connect your custom domain to Tilda. All right. And here down, once you connect your custom domain, there will be visually appealing tips on how is your domain doing. Okay, so the status will be shown over here. Analytics. Analytics is the tab that allows you to check your website performance. Here you can see the website statistics. Yeah, we discussed it in the beginning of the webinar. So yeah, since I just created a website, I don't have a lot of data over here, but you can see, yeah, the popular pages, engagement, events, referral traffic, the countries, cities, and another tab for online store. Okay, so in case you have online store, you're gonna have more, more dedicated metrics for these stores. Wait, sorry. So we were in analytics. So here you check the built-in analytics in Tilda. Here you can connect Google Analytics. Also, you can read the Help Center to understand what is the best way to do it. Google Tag Manager as well. Facebook Pixel and some other analytical tools you can connect over here. SEO tab. So in SEO tab, very nice thing is to check your SEO assistant. Okay, so let's click view and we see that there is one tip that H1 tag is missing on our page that we just created. So H1 tag is very nice to put on the title, on the cover. So usually, because this is the tag for the main heading of the page. Okay, so don't neglect it. Add it. If you click on here, on this tip, it will bring you to the instruction or guide that will explain you how you actually do it. Okay, so that you are always having very nice SEO settings and they're updated. So check from time to time your SEO assistant. That HTTPS settings, it's a possibility to set up your free SSL certificate. Why you may need it? Well, it's because sometimes, I'm sure you have this once or twice in your life, or maybe much more often, when you open a website and it says, the browser says the website is not secure. Okay, so to avoid this, you want to connect the SSL certificate. Okay, this you can do only if you have the custom domain connected to your website. Then Google Search Console, that helps you to add your website to Google faster. Okay, here you can do it as well, and as well as redirects. So all kinds of redirects you can set up here, and some other advanced settings that I don't want to spend our time on. You can check it out on your own. So then export tab allows you to export your website either as a zip archive file with several folders, containing images, CSS files, JavaScript files, and so on. And you also can set up an API integration here. Then moving to forms. So here is the tab, the important tab if you collect data from your visitors or from your customers. Okay, so here you can check the guide from the Help Center that will explain you how to set up forms and services. But in brief, what you have to do if you want to collect your data from your users. So first you pick one or several. It's always better to pick several services where your submissions will end up. Why? Because if one of them stops working for some reason, and it can happen, it does happen quite often, well, depends of course, but just to make sure that you never lose a submission, you can connect an email, for example, and a Google Sheets together. All right, so you will receive submissions to both services. Once you connect it, then you go to your page editor, back to your block with the form, And then inside the form settings, you tick the box with one or both connected services that you have just assigned. You republish the page and then you're good to go. So that's the algorithm. All right. And let's have a look on the CRM systems that are integrated, Zoho CRM as well, HubSpot, email marketing services, such as MailChimp, SendGrid, SendPulse, Unisender, and so on. And some other additional services like Slack and Webhook and Zapier that are very useful tools to connect other services, third-party services to your website. Then if you are, let's put US dollar, for example. Yeah. So the payment services. So if you sell something on your website, if you use a website to sell something, it doesn't matter much if you are an online store or if you're just selling, one book together to your commercial website that is dedicated to your company, for example. Now, if you're SEO, CEO, just wrote a book, for example, and you want to sell it on your website, you can just add another blog, with the promotion of this book, and with a button, which gives your visitors possibility to buy this book, to make the online payment. Okay, so to connect this online payment, the online services, here you can use a bunch of integrated services, Stripe, PayPal to checkout, and so on. Also promo codes you can issue. All right. And that's about. So you choose your currency, you connect your payment services, you set it all up, and you're good to go. Header and footer is a nice feature if you have the multi-page website. So in case you want to add a menu that will be most probably the same for all of your pages, and you don't want to copy and paste this block, around your 500 pages, you can set it as a header. Same thing for the footer. So here it is not active because I only have one page in my project. So if I quickly add another page, you will see, so I will just add any template. Okay, I don't want to even publish it. I come back. Okay, I have two pages. I go back to site settings. I go back to header and footer, and already, it's active. So I can assign one of the pages as a header or as a footer. So once you assign it, you publish the website, and then the assigned page appears on all the inner pages of your website. In the page settings, you can also opt out from showing this header for certain pages, okay? For example, from your main page that you have a customized menu, and you don't want another menu, from all the other inner pages to interfere with it. So my advice is, for the menu, you create another page and you add a menu over there, just one block with the menu, and use it as a header here. That's the fastest way to go. All right, so the Actions tab, it allows you to transfer the website to another user. This is, speaking about the designing process for the client. So if you design a website for the client, you can transfer it to him or her using this tab. But they need to have the account on Tilda, of course. And as well, you can delete your website. Permissions is a tab that allows you to create a password protected pages, okay, using the login and password, or limit the access for your website to specific IP addresses. The membership tab, it's a very interesting one because here you can manage your members area. This is interesting for those who want to create an online courses, and for those who want to actually create limited spaces or limited parts of the content on your website and give access to certain members. All right, so this is where you set it all up. And collaborators is a tab that allows you to edit website together with your coworkers, with your colleagues or friends. So it's a collaborative website editing. It's just like working on Google Docs, together with your teammates. Same thing you can do on Tilda. All right. So this is one of the few, if not the only, paid feature on Tilda, but it costs like nothing. It's like $8 per collaborator, and then you can decide which access he or she would have, and then you can add them to your projects and, for example, give the access only to editing, or and not give without giving the access to publishing your page. Okay, so you can modify this. And finally, the last tab in the site settings. There are plenty of things. What I want to highlight here is the platform label. You may ask, what is this? So platform label is something that appears at the very bottom of your website once you publish your website on Tilda, and it says made on Tilda, basically. Yeah, so with our small logo. You can choose the color for it, and if you buy a yearly subscription, there will be another option that says not to use it, so you can just eliminate it. Okay, so also here you can define the 404 error page. So for this page, the best way to go is to also, just like with header and footer, you create another page, you design it as a 404 error page, and then you assign it over here. Okay, website language. Then very important, HTML code for head section. Okay, so here you can edit the HTML code and also edit or add custom CSS code. So this is in case you're a developer and you want to add some custom widgets, chatbox, or any other elements, you can do so. You can also do this on the page itself by adding the HTML code, HTML block, to any part of your website or any part of your page. You add this block and then you add the code over there, and then once it's published, it's implemented. All right. Then if you are using the Google Maps, here is the field to fill out, okay, for the Maps API key. Also, sometimes you need to verify the ownership of your website. Here you can do this. And I think that was the main, we covered all the main things in site settings, all the main settings. So save changes, and let's go back to our first online business website. The last thing that I want to show you in this webinar is the page settings, actually. So here are my pages. As soon as I hover over it, I have here 3 more buttons that appear: settings, publish, and delete page. All right, so let's go to settings. All right, so here it's very important to fill in page title and page description, because it's going to be shown in your Google search results and in your Facebook snippet, so-called. So this is the snippet. Okay, here is the title, here is the description, and here is the URL address that people will see should they share your website or your web page on social media. All right, so make sure you use some keywords, nice keywords for this, for the page title and description. And if this is the inner page, you can also choose, for example, shop or about us. Okay, the piece of URL for it. Then the page. What is a page? A page is a thumbnail image, actually, for the page that will be also shown when you share your web page on social. So by default, as soon as you publish your web page, the first image on the page becomes automatically its page. All right. If you want to modify it, you can do so by uploading files, and just drag and drop here, and you have it modified. All right. So this is the preview on social media, the Facebook snippet, and this is the search results preview, the preview of your website in search results should people search for you on Google. Okay, and you can customize both of them. Okay, so you can customize your social media preview. You can customize the title and description for Facebook, page image as well, URL address as well. Same thing for the Google search results. And you can also prevent search engines from indexing this page in case the page is not ready. You don't want people to look for it and to end up finding it on Google. Then the export tab. So this is pretty much the same as the export tab in the site settings. Okay, the actions, yeah, a couple of more actions. You can duplicate the page, make a copy of the page, and then transfer it to another user or move it to one of your projects, and also delete the page. And in this additional, the last tab, plenty of interesting things. The main thing here is this unpublish button. So in case you published your page and you don't want it to be live anymore, you realize that was a terrible mistake, this is a place you want to go to unpublish it. Okay. Also, you can check the page statistics here. This is an independent statistic dedicated to this page, not the whole website statistics. Okay. You can disable mobile view, disable fade-in animation and scroll. And also, this is something I use for almost daily. The label and comment. This is only visible on your Tilda account, inside of your personal account, and nobody else will see it. But in case you have a lot of pages to organize and to take care about, and you want to comment on it. So, for example, it's a page which is not live anymore, which is, for example, being translated or redesigned. You can say to redesign. Okay, and the label, for example, if you have a multi-language website, some of the pages will be in one language, another bunch of pages will be in another language, so you can label them with this language, and then you can search on using this label. You can click on it and use it as a filter. Okay, so for example, if you have Spanish, pages on Spanish, you can put this label, and I will show you how it looks just in a second. So yeah, these are the other settings, and the last one that I want your attention on is the templates. We already mentioned it today, but I want to show you again. So any page you create can become a template. Okay, any page you can save as a template and use it for you as a template, and also allow other users. If you have the annual business plan, you can actually almost publish it as a template. It will have a special unique ID code that you can share with your friends, and they can start their project from this template, out of this template. Okay, so I've saved the changes, and here is the label that I just put, and here is the comment. Okay, so that's how it looks like. Then to change the order, you can do it very easily like that. And another thing is you can organize your pages, if you have many of them, into folders. All right, so before you have created a folder, it's a home page. You see here is explained everything for everyone, even for me, a tired Tilda employee. So this page is set as a home page and cannot be moved to any folder, of course. So we close the page settings, we open another page settings, additional, and here is the folder. So you create a new folder over here, archive, for example, and this page will move to this folder. All right, and then it's a very nice, another trick that I want to share you, the last one I think today. It's almost 2 hours that we are talking now. So the in case there is a situation, which is very often, that you have a lot of pages in your project, and you change something in site settings, so you need to republish them all. Usually you want to use this button. You press it and you publish all pages. All pages are published, but some of them, they are old and you don't want to publish them, but you don't want to move them or delete them because you still, you need them anyway. So what you can do in this case, to speed up your work and not to click on every page, publish one by one, you can organize them in an archive folder. So you create a folder, you call it as you like, and then you click here on settings, and you check here this checkbox, archive folder. When you publish, then you save changes, and then when you publish all pages, you're going to be asked only this folder or all pages. So you say only in this folder, and then only the folder, only the pages that are not, the folders without the folders, the pages that are not inside of the archive folder will be published then. All right, and those pages that you put to the archive folder will stay there unpublished. So that's the nice thing about creating archive folders. That was the thing I wanted to share with you. So this is pretty much it. let's get back to the presentation, as I have 2 more last slides for you with free services. So in case you didn't know, we have a UTM builder on Tilda, which you can use to create the UTM tags to source your traffic. Tilda colors and Tilda icons are 2 free services for designers. If you are looking for a color palette for your new project, or if you need some icons, you can download them from Tilda Icons, and you can copy the hex code of each of the colors in Tilda Colors library just by clicking on it. Okay, so just Google Tilda Colors, Tilda Icons, and Tilda UTM Builder, and you will find them all. So let me see. Yeah, I think I answered all of your questions. Dear friends, thank you very much for being with us today. And for more tricks, tips, and guides and tutorials and whatever, practical, useful information about Tilda, about web design, digital marketing, please do follow us on social media. We are in Instagram, in Twitter, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, of course, and on YouTube. So I hope you're gonna put a thumbs up for this video, and do subscribe to our channel, because there are more video tutorials coming very soon. So thanks again for choosing Tilda. Thanks for using Tilda. Thanks for being interested in Tilda. Please ask any questions if you have them after the webinar in our social media. We'll be more than happy to answer them. And good luck with your project, guys. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.